Hello and welcome to today's stream. I hope everybody is having a great night. How is everybody doing this night? Let's see who we have here. Welcome Tessie, welcome to the stream, welcome Flitted, and welcome Major Error. I hope you all are doing good. So, we got the logo done. It's now also on the GitHub. For the people that are new, I don't think there are a lot, but you can watch the broadcast on YouTube with timestamps. So if you want to see something, you can look it up. The third stream is currently almost completed. You just need to fix the timestamp, and we're gonna upload it and also add it to the GitHub page. Also, Tessie says, hi, nice logo. Thank you. And timestamps are great, I have to say. Yeah, it's some work. I have to go through all the videos, also remove all the startup and pauses. So when I need to upload, then I need to wait because it's getting processed. And after that, I need to remove everything, like the breaks, and then it needs to be processed, and then I can look for all the timestamps. But it's good to hear that you guys like them. So let's get started. If we go to the projects, if you ever want to see it yourself, you can also go to the GitHub page and see all the issues or the board. So for today's stream, we are gonna work on our endpoints. We're not gonna add authentication just yet, and we're also not gonna store everything in the database. But at least making sure that the data is sent to the API, and then storing the data in the database should be a small step. So we have the issues create endpoint for the this is a weird issue, but it is let me update it. Endpoint for retrieving recipe. We also have the profile for user, all the ingredients, and if we still have some time left, we can add the SQL database. So this is not going to be creating the entire database with all the entities, but at least adding it, making sure we have a connection string and all that stuff. And if we then have some times, we can add some shadow loading on the recipe components. The main one already has that. I can show you that. Let me open. Visual Studio and the project. Give it a second to build. Oh, this is the API. That's the wrong. And it's almost done. Let's go to the URL. Yes, it's here. So when we press refresh, you can see that this gets like a shadow box. So that's what I mean with it. And for the rest of the people, we added some rating. We can change the serving size. We should also make sure that this updates this, but we're not doing this yet. For the rest, we have the ingredients and the utensils, all the steps, and the following page, basically. And this also needs to be improved because it's now 5 a month, but it should be 5 milliliters, liters, or stuff like that. So, but that's something for a different stream. So let's get started with our first issue of the day, creating an endpoint for the recipes. So let's create a new branch and let's see 26 already. And that's gonna be recipe and point. There we go. Let's close everything of the previous stream. And let's show our files. So we're going to the API and we are gonna create, oh, we already did, a recipe controller. It's pretty empty right now. And let's also, oh, not restart debugging, but let's, yes, that's good. Public, let's make it void for now. Index and int ID. And let's define it. And let's call this ID int. We don't have it yet. So let's also create a DTO for this. A new class called, yeah, recipe DTO. And let's make it public. Let's remove the usings for now. Oh, we don't need full string. And let's just add this to here. Return new recipe. My bad, we also need to add it to the dependencies. So we're gonna add the shared project to the APIs project. So we have access to the recipe DTO. And now we do. So let's look at what we have created. In our Swagger page. So as you can see, this is really nice with Swagger. We can view the requests. So this is a required. And the response, well, for now it's empty. When we can also test it. So let's send 5. And we got a success return. So let's close this. And let's see what we have in here in our recipe model. So we already have the title, the description, the image URL, and the favorite. And yeah, the favorite we're gonna decide based on the users. Mark DB says, hey, why do you not put the models and the enums in a shared project? Just a question. That's a very good question. The main reason we don't have the enums in the shared project is because we started without a shared project. And the other reason I don't have the models in the shared project is because I like to keep them separate, as a lot of times your models on the front end also have like information about them. For example, if you have them in a form, you have form data if it's required, if it's a certain length, and you don't always want that to transfer to your shared project or to your backend. So that's why I like to map my models from the from shared to the front end and from shared to the backend. So they basically don't model is only for the DB, isn't it? What do you mean with that, Tessie? Let me also enable the chat. So if we check here, we have the Blazor project, the shared project, and the API project. And the Blazor project basically doesn't know anything about the API project. It does about shared, and the API only also knows about shared. So everything here should be what we want to use. Oh, I'm sorry, you're still seeing the chat. Models are only used mapping to the database. They have no usage on the client. Yeah, I like to keep the layers different. So you can call it models, you can call it DTOs, you can call it view models. That doesn't really matter in my opinion. But I like at the minimum to keep my entities or database models to only exist in the API, and then have a DTO or something sent to the front end. And for here we even removed that, as this is gonna be really closely related to the API. Also, MarkDB says I'm asking because I tend to keep everything backend related separate from the Blazor project. Yeah, we have that. So that's why I'm creating this DTO. So the API is gonna, in the end result, is gonna do a query, and the query will be mapped to a DTO. So we're only sending the data that we want the front end to see, and then the front end can interpret it like they like. They can use this DTO, but sometimes it makes more sense to use their own models. Hope that answered your question. Also, welcome Flitted, Emmark, and Talents in the chat. How is it going this night? But for the rest, we also need array of all the ingredient IDs. Then sol IDs. Public. I think the steps could be included in here. You're doing Ferrocodes, says Talents. Yeah, that's always a pain, in my opinion. Yeah, I know you can hit prop and then type. I know it, I don't always use it. I do sometimes, but... Yeah, we also... let's also create a new folder where we put in all the recipe data. Oh, let me continue back here. Oh, so let's remove it in here. And let's also create a folder called recipe steps. Class called recipe datio, recipe step datio, of course. Prop string text. Public, and let's also fix this namespace and enable chat again. Let's do prop then. Let's also do this in an array. Recipe steps recipe step data. And let's also public int. Let's keep it int for now. I'm not sure if it's always gonna be, but owner ID. So let's see what Swagger tells about this. So we have two models, the recipe datio and the recipe step datio. Can we also make it not null, just to make sure the image URL can be null probably when there's no image set. Owner ID cannot be null, and the steps. Let's see if the API also displays that in Swagger. Nullable is still true. Now we need to see which one we need. Let's do a quick Google search. C# Swagger not. The specific property is optional string is not nullable. You need to add. Okay. Never mind then. Now that we have this, let's stop this. And let's let it return something useful. Description is very nice food. Favorite should be true. Image URL should be something, not sure what yet. Ingredient IDs should be just returning some random stuff in here. Title should be food. I'm not sure. I'm just making sure we have something to return. Owner ID. Steps. And utensil IDs should be 1 and 2. Let's also return the ID. Prop int ID. ID equals ID. So in a later stream we'll make sure this is retrieved through the database. But now, if we would call this method, and let's try it out, and would send 5, we get a JSON object with the ID containing 5 and all the other stuff. So that looks good. That looks good. So let's go to the front end and make sure that we can call it. That's fine. Let me see if they're running on the same port. So I'm gonna set startup projects, and let's see if we can start them both, Blazor and API. They do not run on the same port. So let's fix that we are, nope, not restarting. Damn it, I should really remove that button. So let's localhost /API. And now we are gonna create a new folder called, oh, we already have the services. Never mind then. Let's open the and we also have a recipe service. Oh, we had the faker. Just to make sure that that works. Also, I want to ask you guys a favor. We are currently on 96 followers, and it would be really amazing if we could get the 100 today. So if you haven't followed yet, feel free to do that. It was really appreciated. And if you already are following, make sure to tell your friends or someone you know that would enjoy this stream to go check it out and maybe even hit that follow button. Also, welcome Boba Fett and Flitted. Welcome to the stream. How is it going this fine evening? Recipe service. So let's create a new implementation for this interface. So I always like to do something, and that is wrapping the HTTP client in a service. Oh, not a component. Let's add a new class here. HTTP service. No, it's not public. It should be private read-only. I know a HTTP client. And then create a public T so we are returning a generic get async, and let's make this task. So the first one is the controller. The second one is the int ID. HTTP client get URI equals HTTP client dot base URL. Let me see, candidates are no. C# le combine and string. Do we have a URL? No. What's this? Never mind, we don't need that. Measure. Of course, this needs to be to string. And let's throw an. No, we are sure that there's no. What? Oh, URI. For result equals await. Result. No, let's go. No, that's fine. And let's also create T called process requests async probably, and HTTP response message. So this is gonna make sure that for every request that we do, that we can have like error handling, results, no, response dot content dot read as string async, content equals await. Let's make this a task. Return JSON converter dot no JSON serializer dot deserialize the and content. What can we input in here? A reader JSON. Like so, and then we can do return process async of the and then results. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat and I'll be happy to help. What? Because we already know that it's not null if it goes to there. So let's create an interface for this class. So as I'm using ReSharper, I can just use refactor, extract, and interface. And I can select this one. And let's give it in here for now. So let's go to the program. Recipe HTTP service, and let's remove this faker part. Maybe we'll add it later, but for now it's fine. And also add the builder.services.add scoped. And that's the HTTP service. Let's make a public static register services service collection services. And do it like this, just to keep everything clean. There should be an iService collection. Then that one is happy and everything is happy in here. So now let's go to our recipe components. I am looking at the oh, of course, we still need to create an implementation for this. So instead of using the HTTP service in here, we can use the IHTTP service. That just makes the call a little bit easier. Private. Let's also create a string, and this string will just call the controller name. Controller endpoint. Recipe. Get async, and we want the recipe. Oh, my bad. Let's go to the dependencies here and add a reference to shared. Control, and then we're gonna give the controller endpoint and the ID. Let's make this all an int. And this can be made. Oh, that's weird. It didn't tell me it wasn't being used. So let's now it is used. Not all paths are returning something. Give me a second as I just grabbed a little bit to drink. For now, let's make sure to await this and make this function async. And just that. And we can do the rest in a later stadium. Maybe even at AutoMapper. Or maybe just use this directly but I'm not always a big fan of that. Image URL equals recipe.image URL. Let's see if it works. Ah, damn it. 5. So the problem was that that still returned a string instead of an int. So let's give it a second to all boot up. That is working properly. Let me just resize the screen. We are being blocked by Chorus. Also, Talon says, I'm done with working for today. I need to listen to the wife and watch Netflix. See ya. Have a good night. It's very important to listen to the wife. Have a great evening and I'll see you tomorrow. So the problem was in our API. So the problem is coarse. So let's make sure that not that if an URL is not basically whitelisted, you cannot send it through Chrome. .NET Core course. So it's pretty easy, but if you can remember that, that's pretty impressive. But we just need to add a service. Service it at course. Localhost, and we can always change this. Localhost So, we still need to add it. And for now, just do use course localhost. Oh, all. Nice, we got a new error. That's always really exciting. Unexpected rendering component. The input does not contain any JSON tokens. Expected the input to start with a valid JSON token. So let's go to our recipe service. No, not to our HTTP service. Yes. Go to the implementation. And we should be able to set a breakpoint. Maybe it was just a problem with the byte array. I was wondering if it could handle that. Hello, I do have a breakpoint, right? Apparently not. Also, welcome Commander Root. How is it going this night? Let's see what the string is. It's empty? Refresh. Ah, that explains a lot. Let me see. It all looks. How is this different? Network 5 HTTPS // It's not the capital, right? I thought they didn't care about it. Localhost, HTTPS localhost /recipe. So let's go to a recipe. It's a GET request. This is a GET request. Oh, damn it. I'm pretty stupid. I forgot the API, so let's keep this lowercase. I do wonder why the base URL is not containing the API then. If any of you guys know what the problem is, please let me know. Also, if you're in a stream and you have any questions, or if you're enjoying the content, it's really appreciated if you could hit that like button and if you could say hi. Otherwise I need to do like API / but hi Irish Tea Leaf, how is it going tonight? Doing anything fun this evening? Nice, this seems to work. You found something funny and you will send it. I'm curious. But I do some research into this and after I did that, I'll update it on the stream. But that doesn't explain. Can I show it on screen? I'm really... Oh. I don't know what you want. Okay. Let me because that all looked very good. So let's go to our recipe title cards. So this is a parameter. So this is from the index page. This equals a weight. Let's see. It didn't want to boot, but now it does. return JSON serializer.serialize. Let me see if the recipe is even filled. It isn't. So that's kind of strange. Get async controller ID process. Ignore conditions, JSON naming policy. And let's also do a write line for the name of the give it a second to start up, and there it is. Okay, name of T is just T. Of course it is. Let's make it case insensitive. Woo! It works. So let's remove this. Just gonna check out the implementation. Let's wrap this thing in a service then, if it's giving us a trouble. So let's create, let's stop debugging. JSON service. Public the series. I always hate these words. The value let me serializer dot deserialize the with value. Read only. I know JSON reader options. JSON reader options. JSON serializer options. I'm sorry. Let's rename this. So let's go back to our program. Add the services that add singleton. New JSON serializer options. Ignore. Case property case insensitive is true. And also add scoped JSON public string serialize the and objects serialize async. UTS a stream. Oh damn, that's probably better. Stream. Deserialize async And we don't need the shit. And let's also add the options in here. And also use resharper to extract an interface for this one. And use both functions. JSON service, JSON service. And now the HTTP service can use the private read-only JSON service. Let's not make this static anymore. JSON service that deserialize async. D response dot content dot read as stream. Return await. Let's see if it still works. Yes. And let's go to the faker service. Let's add this URL to the recipe controller. Does this still show? Yeah, and we're back, but now through the API. Also, welcome to Pilots TV. How is it? How are you doing tonight? I hope you are doing good. So let's take a look at what we did. We created controller that returns an object. We made sure that our course works. We added our shared project. We can remove this right line. We changed the type here, nothing too special. We create an HTTP service and a JSON service to handle that stuff. We also changed the recipe service to work with the endpoint. And we registered everything in our program.cs. And we also added a JSON convert that ignores the case insensitivity. And we added the shared project, and I can see that we can remove this one because that doesn't matter in this cards. Hello, I don't want this line here. Do I need to look? Never mind, let's go to the projects because it's being a bit annoying. In Blazor. Reload. I think. Did it fix it? So, yeah. Okay, sure. Not gonna touch it anymore. And we created a recipe DTO and a recipe step DTO. Edit API for recipe. So now we're gonna commit it, and now we can go to our GitHub page. We see that there's a recipe or a PR, edit API for recipe. That seems fine. Linked issues 26. So now it's being built. And let's enable auto merge. So this is gonna build. As you can see here, it's gonna details. It's gonna set up .NET Core, restore dependencies, build, test, and that's it. So it's gonna take a few seconds. And then this PR will automatically be done. But I think we should also go to the settings and branches. Edit this policy. Maybe it's an option on. I don't like this one. Security and analyze branches. Not sure. I would like to require at least one issue to be linked. But as you can see, now it's linked. And we go here. Oh, it's one stop too far. Let's add the automation. Done. So now we can see that when we complete a pull request, it will automatically be done here. So after the stream, we'll look at the profile. We also want to add the ingredients, and then probably make sure that everything sort of works together, as that's not done right now. But we'll see if we get time for that. I'm gonna take a small break. I hope everybody is having a great night. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just gonna stretch my legs, grab something to drink, and I'll be back in a few moments. Hello and welcome back, everybody. Let's continue on the next issue, 27 profile. So in this issue, we are gonna create profile API, an endpoint for the profile, and make sure that we are retrieving it. So let's close everything and let's get working. Let's start with a new DTO in the shared folder called users. Class user DTO. And let's see, do we already, we also, let's not call it users, but profile. No. He has a name, a username. Int. So username followers rating count and following. That seems good enough. So let's create a recipe controller. No, not a recipe controller. A user controller. And this one also has just one function. User DTO. Oh, I didn't make this a controller. So let's copy this. Let's add controller base index http get rd slash int, not slash, like that, and int id. And let's do a return in here, just like we did with the other one. Username is topdev. Name is Thomas. Color is 5. Followers is 25. Following is true. Rating is 1. 1. Yeah, 1. And rating count is a lot. Nobody likes me. Nah, joking. So if we start this, we should be able to see what we have created. In Swagger, as you can see now, we also have the user. And we have a string, username, color, followers following rating and rating counts. So if we try this out, let's do this. You can see everything. There's something I do like to add. Int ID. And let's add it also here. But that doesn't change a lot. So let's go to the services. And let's create a folder called endpoint services. And let's also move this one here. Profile service. Let's HTTP service. And let's give this a copy. And let's fix this namespace. And this is going to be user public user profile. Get user profile async int ID return await HTTP service.get async, and that's the head. No, I'm not sure why I did that. Get async. Oh, we need to insert the controller in here, of course. Controller endpoint. Let's make this async task. Return new user profile and color equals enum dot parse color dto dot color oh. Let me see how we did that. Int to enum. color. Name equals datio.name. Username equals datio.username. Following equals datio.following. Followers equals datio.followers. Rating equals datio.rating. Rating counts. So, and again in here, let's go to extract to interface. And let's make sure that we add it in here. Scoped I user why did I call it profile? User profile. And let's go. I don't want HTTP. Hello. Like that. So the reason you don't care about the interface where it gets it from, and here you know that it's from the HTTP, and this can go back to an end. So let's go to the profile component razor.cs. I see that we didn't do this one correctly, so let's add dot razor.cs so it's nicely behind it. So let's add a parameter public in profile ID. Let's call this user ID. Public overrides. No, it's protected. Protected overrides. Uninitialized async. Awaits. And then also inject the user profile service. User profile service. And then the profile equals user profile service dot get profile async. We're inputting the user ID and we're making sure that we are gonna await it. And now we can remove all of this bin stuff. something went wrong, so let's see what it is. So the problem here was that the profile wasn't set yet. Oh, this is a really nice. If like we did with the recipe title in here, we did loaded. So let's go to the. So we did. When the recipe was not null, we did a boolean. So prop loaded. No. Bool is loaded. Profile does not equal null. If loaded, else mut. And let me see what we did here. Skeleton. Mut. Hello. Mut. Skeleton. Yes. Skeleton type is a rectangle. And it will also give it sizes. Yeah. So if and again here. But in here we want it to be a circle, and it should be have the class of extra large. There should be a way to automate this. Because this gets pretty ugly really fast. Oh, it shouldn't be. I copied the wrong one. Let's see how that looks and if it works. It's too quick. Oh wait, task got delay. Let's give it a restart and let's see if we now can see how that loader looks. Let's give it a really high number because it's pretty fast, to be honest. Okay, there are a few changes that we should improve. And here the width should be 40%. What did we do for the this looks very good. This doesn't yet. Then just break this up. And the last one. So for us it doesn't really looks like anything, but if you have a little bit of a slower connection, why is this entire thing not loading? Doesn't it have any width or something? That button is also not loading. Let's see if that does something. Spacing loaded materials. Test. Okay, let's make it a div. %. Let's give this 60. To all the people that are watching, if you enjoy the stream and you want to support me for free, it doesn't cost you anything, you can hit that follow button. It helps you notifying when I go live. If you really like the stream and you do want to support me even financially, you can hit that subscription button. You get a cool emote created by Iris Tea Leaf. And that helps me buy new gear. And Iris Tea Leaf comments with the hype. So this normally is the profile rating. So this one be smaller and less high. This is just gonna look weird. What the hell? I'm gonna take a look at it later. I'm just gonna remove the loading for now on this part. Let's give it a cleanup. And let's make. I'm gonna give this another one try. Do it around here instead of around the type should be a text. Let me see, in here we text. Let's give it a restart. Let's see what the text look like. Now we do at least need this one. Oh, this looks good. Let's give this a last reboot to make sure that we see the button. Also, I'm checking the chat and welcome 95 Connor. I hope you are having an amazing day and welcome to the stream. This one is showing, is that the correct one? It is, but it wasn't the one we were looking for. Okay, this is almost done. But in whatever language you write, you always have to deal with styling. At least if you do a little bit of front end. Let me see the $75 and 36. Oh, what? Something broke. Oh, instead of 75, I used 750. Let's button. One last check and that should be fine, I think. Yes, that looks good, but yeah, that's fine. So let's see what changes we did. We added the controller. We renamed the components. We made sure there was some skeleton. And now when you provide a user ID, you load it in here. Some renaming, and we can discard this line. We cannot do that basic for some reason, but we don't need the delay anymore. We already tested it all. Ah, we moved it. That's right. Recipe service. But I do want to remove the right line. And we added our model and service. Added profile endpoints. We still had a few tasks on here. But let's first hashtag profile at the hell? Okay. And also allow auto merge. So in today's stream we added 2 endpoints. And I'm oh, that's bad. Made an error. Let's disable the auto merge and let's fix that quick. If loaded, if not, if loaded. Let's this one can be removed. Remove skeleton from the wrong place. Let's commit and push that. And now go back and enable auto merging. Oh, reopen pull request. That was the wrong one. Enable auto merge. So this should automatically close this pull request. I also think that this is gonna be it for this stream. I'm pretty tired right now. If you enjoyed the stream, it would be really appreciated if you would hit that follow button. I'm almost at the 100 followers. I need 4 more. So that's it. So this stream we added 2 endpoints and we added the... Give me a second. It was a sneeze. I think you guys appreciated it that I didn't do that in my microphone. But yeah, we added 2 endpoints. You can see all the issues in here. This one should be automatically moved to here. And this one should be... done. And now it's automatically moved. Nice. Yeah, so I think we'll keep those for next stream. I'm sorry this is a bit of a shorter stream, but I'm pretty tired. So I hope you all had a great night. If you enjoy the content and want to see it next time, make sure to hit that follow button. Have a great evening and I'll see you next time.